Do you know the story of the guy who wrote about the magical wardrobe and somehow turned it into one of the greatest Christian allegories of all time? Yep, that guy is C.S. Lewis. But here's the wild part. Lewis didn't start off as a Christian. In fact, he was an atheist. He thought Christianity was absolute ludicrous. So how does one go from calling Christianity a bunch of fairy tales to writing actual fairy tales that have shaped generations of believers? Well, it all starts with his childhood. Clive Staple Lewis, yes, his first name was Clive, not C.S. Clive. So Clive was born in Ireland in 1898. His mom died when he was 9 years old, and that completely shattered him. He grew up loving books and myths and fantasy stories, but faith? No, he pushed that one away. And by the time he was a teenager, he was convinced God was not real. So fast forward to World War, Lewis goes out to fight. And during the war, he sees death, he sees destruction, he sees trauma. And when he comes back, he's even more convinced that life is meaningless and that there is no God. But then something strange happens. He meets all these really smart people at Oxford where he was teaching. People like J.R.R. Tolkien, guy who wrote The Lord of the Rings. And these people, they start challenging him. They're like, dude, you love myths, but what if Christianity is that one myth that's actually true? And that idea just wrecks him, but in the best way possible. And after a lot of wrestling and a lot of conversation, Lewis finally surrenders his life to the Lord in 1931. It wasn't easy. He even called himself the most reluctant convert in England. But once he gave in, he went all in. That's when he started writing books defending the faith like Mere Christianity, which is still a classic today. Then children's stories, which are packed with so much imagery, such as the Chronicles of Narnia. And kids all over the world read it, not even realizing that they are taking in some theology. It is absolute genius. And by the time C.S. Lewis dies in 1963, he has become one of the most influential Christian writers. Fun fact, he actually died on the same day of JFK's assassination, and so not a lot of people at the time noticed that he had passed, and by the time they noticed, it was like a little bit after. And despite that, his words live on, and this is proof that sometimes the loudest voices in history are the ones that all didn't believe at all. And so wherever you are in your faith journey, whether you don't believe in God at all, or you have been following him faithfully for years, the Lord has a plan for your life, and he is willing to take whatever you give him, small or big, small faith, big faith, and use it to do mighty exploits in this world. My name is Wheeler, and I love sharing about different aspects of Christian history that I think everyone should know about.